So what's up, my tech tycoons? This is Sergio, founding partner at BetaBoom. So today I wanted to talk about the number one thing that you have to know about startups before you get too far or before you start one. The number one thing that you have to know, and I'll go into a lot more detail throughout this episode, but the number one thing that you absolutely have to know is what you're getting into. And the reason why is very, very simple. I hold open office hours, which by the way, you can sign up for. I'll put a link in below, where I talk to all kinds of founders. Anybody can sign up for it, no matter how early in their startup journey they are, or how late in their startup journey they are. But the thing that really, really surprises me is, especially the founders that are a year in, or even just starting out, how little they are prepared for the journey that is ahead of them, and what kind of misconceptions they have about the journey that lies ahead of them. So there are many, many times when I talk to founders and they're just starting out. Maybe they haven't even built their product, and they're showing me their pitch deck or something, or we're just talking and they're telling me that they're going to get to $1 million in revenue in a year, and they're going to raise seed funding, seed investment in 3 months. We'll be a unicorn company and we'll exit in like 3 years. That is not at all how it works. It's very, very exceedingly rare that a startup can follow those timelines. The majority of startups take a lot longer to not only grow, but it takes a lot longer to develop the product. It takes a lot longer to get a critical mass of customers or users. And it takes a long time to get, investment. Not only is the journey much longer than most entrepreneurs, most founders realize, the chances that this whole journey will actually be worthwhile and that you will, reap some sort of substantial economic benefit from it is very, very low. And I'm not saying that to dissuade you guys. Although, if I do dissuade some of you, that's actually a good thing. Because the startup journey is so difficult, and I know a lot of founders that, quit their jobs, that invest all of their life savings, that mortgage their house, that, put strain on their relationships with their friends and family to pursue their dream. And they do that expecting that the payoff will be quick and certain. Once again, that is not at all how things work. So if you are going to go on the journey, then that's wonderful. I 100% support you. But you do, I think, have to make that decision with some concrete facts. And so now for those facts. So first of all, only about 1 in 2,000 startups will get venture capital funding. So that is very, very low. So just expect that, creating a startup doesn't mean that you are going to get investment from a VC fund or from any kind of other institutional investor. It's exceedingly rare. The other fact to know is that the average time from the time that founders create their startup or form their startup to when they raise a seed round, if they are one of the 2,000, is about 3.2 years. And why is this important? Well, because once again, I meet so many founders that a year on into their journey, they have very little growth. They're maybe making just a few $1,000s per month, and they are making very little or no progress in raising, venture capital investment or angel investment, what have you. And so, this is a problem because, maybe you quit your job, maybe you've invested all of your life savings into this company, And now you've been kind of punched in the face. And as Mike Tyson, famously said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. And so what I see from my perspective is a lot of founders, because they don't know the journey ahead, when things get really tough and things take way longer than they anticipated, they often quit. And I'm convinced that if you know that, look, I'm in it for a long haul. I have to prepare not for 6 months, but for three years, and kind of structure my life and structure my finances and my expectations and my plan to be in line with that kind of timeline. When it does take longer to get to a certain critical mass of revenue, or to get to raising some kind of significant investment, it's not going to throw you off as much. Of course, it's going to suck and it's still going to hurt, and you're still going to, probably be really, really depressed and frustrated. But you have a much better chance, I think, of survival knowing that and preparing for a really long journey than, kind of expecting a really short one. So the final stat that I wanted to throw out at you is that of all the startups, of all startups, 1 in 2,000 will raise some kind of institutional money. And of all the ones that raise seed money, only 1% will become a unicorn company, meaning a company that is worth more than $1 billion. And only 1/3 of those startups will have any kind of exit at all, even if it's a loss-making exit. The time between when you raise your seed round and when your company is likely to exit is a little bit over 5 years. And it takes 3 years just to raise a seed round. So all in all, what you can expect and what you should expect getting into the startup game is that you will have about a 1 in 200,000 chance of building $1 billion company. And it will probably take you more than 8 years to get to the point where you will exit, meaning when you will sell your company to another bigger company, or when you will IPO your company. I don't mean to freak you out, but I do want to at least give you a realistic perspective of what you're getting into, because I really, really think it is critical for you to know the journey that lies ahead, to prepare for it mentally, and also to have better information about, do you really want to go on this journey? And if you do, you have my full support. I'm more than happy to see you in my office hours, and good luck. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Startup Basics. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button to get updates from new episodes. See you guys next time.